Hello, dear friends, my fellow dear drivers, and today I'm making a video about the Uber deactivation and reactivation process. Basically, it might be very interesting subject for those of you who got deactivated from the platform due to certain reasons, and it might also be beneficial for those of you guys who are driving and by following certain things on this video you might be able to not to follow certain things in order not to get deactivated like many of the drivers out there. So till recently I was one of those drivers that got deactivated, and my story goes back to August 5th 2018 when I got a message saying your Uber account got permanently deactivated due to repeatedly reports of um, riders making a complaint about the drivers the destination discrimination. So basically what happened is I went to the office, to Uber office, to try to talk to them about this issue and try to like explain them and prove that they were wrong. But obviously they didn't really care about my story. And another thing is they didn't basically have any power to um, reverse that decision, and the only thing they were keep saying is you need to go to independent drivers guild in order to file an appeal if I wanted to. So and I asked if I can do it on my own without going to IDG, and they said like, okay, we're gonna send you a form that you need to fill it out and basically state the reasons and why you think that the decision was incorrect and why you need to be reactivated on the platform. So which I did. So after receiving that letter, I filled it out and put up my reasons for all these good reasons to be reactivated, because the destination filter on its own it's not something that it doesn't exist anymore since 2019, because the Uber just basically removed it from its app, so it's no longer active. So I might think that was one of the reasons why I got invited for the appeal personally, because that feature does not longer exist on the app. So it anyway, that was the good chance for me to get back onto the platform. So what happened is I filled out that form way back then in 2018, and basically, guys, that form that you think that might work, it actually doesn't work. So don't waste your time and don't fill it out. Just basically, my suggestion to you is go to IDG straight. Go to IDG, explain them the situation, and they will submit a appeal on behalf of you to Uber. So that's how you get the chance of getting back to the platform. IDG is really working hard to make these things happen, and of course there is certain things they have their own interest and by getting you back into a platform, because once you get back to the platform, you will become a due paying member that they automatically deduct, if I'm not wrong, like $18 per month from your account towards your membership. But in any way, I think these guys deserved it because they really working hard and they represent you there in an Uber office in order for you to get back into the platform. So basically, before these whole things happen, I got invitation to this appeal in about 10-month time. So be ready, and like you might get even faster than 10 month, or you might get like a later than 10 month. But in anyhow, it's worth sitting waiting, and I think if it works out, and basically it's good. So what happened is I received a text message from one of the IDG workers, the brother that represented me in the office, in the Uber's office. So if I'm not wrong, his name was Aaron. He's a very good fellow. So I really appreciate his help and time, and all the effort that he put towards getting me back into a platform. So this video is basically primarily is beneficial for those of you guys that who already got deactivated. So this information that I'm going through, in order not to make the same mistake that I did in the past, so you just go simply follow that instruction and steps that I'm giving you on this particular video. And it might also be very beneficial for those of you guys who's driving and still driving for the Uber, and it's a reminder for you guys not to do certain things, although you may be right, but Uber doesn't really care, we know that. So simply by not making these kind of mistakes, and not to give the chance for Uber to get you out of platform. So well, yeah, I received a text from the Aaron saying like, hey, this Friday gonna be the hearing, so you need to come to certain location. If you remember, there is an office in Manhattan, the Uber office on West 27 and 11th Avenue. So you need to go to the 3rd floor and like put in your details on an iPad that you hear for appeal hearing. So basically, there might be other people waiting there also who got deactivated from the platform. So one by one, they will invite you inside. So the hearing basically takes about like 15 to 20 minutes. And those guys who question you about certain things, about like what really caused the deactivation, whether or not you refused the destination for a certain person, or if there are any other reason that was behind your deactivation. So they will ask you those questions. But take a note, guys. Those guys, like me and you, they are drivers. They're veteran drivers. And that's a good side of it, because, you know, like there are always sympathy from those guys towards their fellow drivers. And that kind of works in our favor, because like they also, the drivers, they know the situation on the roads. And basically, yeah, they will ask you questions, and then you need to basically reply the same thing that you had an experience. And then there be a question from the Uber representative. And from my experience, there was also one of the guys, I don't remember his name, but he was super nice guy. I mean, he didn't really give me a hard time as compared to our fellow drivers. Maybe that's the, you know, like a tactics that they need to kind of like bombard you with certain questions in order to make it appear that like, hey, like we're not really on the side of this guy, but we're making sure that this guy get, certain questions answered before we decide on his reactivation. So basically, you get in a room, everything is nice. They're super nice, and like offer you like if you want any drink, or if you want any there's some other things, amenities. And well, basically, like Uber tries to make you feel like you're at home, and like nice. Basically, everything was super nice there. So after the hearing, you will be asked to wait outside for the decision, and between that time and the time that you receive your decision might be another like 15 minutes, and that's it. Basically, like, I think my personal experience tells me that once you got invited there, that means the Uber kind of want you to get back to the platform. But for the formality's sake, what they do, they come and gather that meeting to sign certain paperworks and to make sure everything works in order that it's supposed to work. So my advice to you guys: try to always be recording every single step that is happening with your passengers, because some of the accusation that I came across during that appeal was, I mean, I don't really even remember if that thing really happened, but some of them might be like just a, like a slander against you, so you never know. My advice is always have a dash cam that records in and out everything. That's the only reason you can get dry out of the water if something like this kind of situation happens in the future. So well, basically, I'm very excited that I go back to the platform. It means there are still hope for those of you guys that got deactivated from the platform. And please don't give up. And if you don't really know what to do and a way to go to, you can shoot me a text or give me a call on my number, which is 513-462-3539, and I'll be always happy to help you guys, because I've been in the same boat. I also got frustrated because I got deactivated because my primary source of income was through the Uber, and so I'm glad that I'm go back to the platform. So I'm glad that these guys gave me the opportunity to like come back and prove that everything gonna be working in its own the perfect way. And one more thing, guys, my experience is telling me that when you go there, they will ask you whether or not you work for some other app-based companies, and if the rating with them is pretty good. So you need to make sure, if you're working for those companies, to maintain the good rating. Although they were not demanding from me if I should show them my app or something like that, but it tells them like, hey, like, look, if I'm really wrong, then I could have been deactivated from the other companies too, which not the case. And what is this